How rare. My name is Shi Shufu. I'm grateful to you for showing me the way to the valley. We'll recite the sutra for 1,000 times and pray that you will have peace and prosperity in your life. Chanting 1,000 times, Master can say a lot, but this valley has never been entered or left by anyone. What is the reason for your entry? The old cassock in search of a medicinal herb in Wanjun Valley to cure this child. Shisu said, pointed to the young monk who came with him beside him. A sad look could not help but flow slightly on his face. The valley, in addition to monkeys, there's no precious herbs. The master is afraid to find the wrong place. Let's, yeah, the valley, in addition to monkeys, there's no precious herbs. The master is afraid to find the wrong place. That also does not matter. Still hope that the master for the old line to show the road to the valley. Human life is at stake. If the old line failed to personally look for and dare not give up on this. Let's look at the young monk. Hawk has a closer look at the young monk. Seeing he is only about 10 years old, not only thin and pale skin, really full of a sick look. Look at his eyebrows. They seem to be a sometimes blood stain and like a closed strange eye. Although not how appalling, but looking at it unexpectedly feels horrible. Young monk is also watching Hawk. A moment later, he did not say a word to hide behind Shi Shufu. We'll tell you directions of the road to the valley so you can go in the valley and find it for yourself. Amitabha Buddha, Shi Shufu folded his hands and bowed deeply to me. After that, Hawk told Shi Shufu in detail the past that could be passed in the valley, thinking that his adoptive father had already left the valley anyway, and there was nothing that was no profit to be made. So he simply explained to Shi Shufu briefly each wooden man mechanism that drove away the beast. So straight talk for half an hour. Shi Shufu listened and nodded. That's it. If you follow these paths, you should be able to search all parts of the valley in less than 3 days. He thanked Hawk and told the young monk to kneel and cow down to Hawk. Hawk thought this was too heavy a gift and helped the young monk up. Shi Shufu explained, if only 3 days we will be able to search the valley, this child's life may be saved. Hawk sounded quite unimpressed, thinking that there is nothing in the valley. This old monk in the end only, afraid of nothing. I laughed bitterly. Before parting with Shi Shufu, he leaped to send Hawk to the other side of the torrent as a token of gratitude. That's so nice. He carried me to the other side. All right. Hawk found the way out of the deep valley according to the map drawn by my father. Now, these roads are quite related to the 64 trigrams of wuxia. Not only the layout of the hidden, but also many changes. If not someone to point out, I'm afraid that never go out. Hawk secretly alarmed and is guessing that Shi Shufu is how to pass this formation. So, thinking while walking, has unknowingly walked to the exit of the deep valley. Okay. It was difficult for me to leave the valley. Ahead all around, there were now mountains, as if it was another valley. Looked at the map again and saw that beyond the exit of the deep valley, there was also a large river. It seems that the only way to find out where Taiwu village is to cross that river. Father's drawn a long, thick line along the river. It seems that we must want me to go down the river. Makes sense. Even though there's only like 2 spots of river. Pops. All right. What a dark river. We exclaimed already, startled by the huge dark river that crossed the bottom of the mountain. I thought I would have to follow an ordinary stream, but I never thought I'd have to cross an incredibly fast and dangerous dark river. How can this be? Difficult to get through without a secure boat. Just when Hawk, the valley of retreat, not far away on a small hill, suddenly rose a few wisps of smoke. Seems to have a village. I was overjoyed and suddenly remembered that they have left the deep valley. The valley is naturally inhabited. So the dark river is the way out. There are people nearby. There must be boats to borrow. All right. Stealing the years in the valley, the hills lay down their hustle and bustle. There's no fire to light the night. There is no rice for cooking. Fish and insects are a meal. Flowers and plants are as well. You don't become a Buddha in the temple. You'll claim to be an immortal in the world. Hawk approached. Suddenly came a rather crude song from the village. Okay, all right, and let's see, I followed the music, that song again. In a short while, an old Taoist priest appeared before the door of a thatched hut, looking down at the ground. Let's approach him. Okay. Hey, he's got that mark. You presume to call the world outside the immortal, but will only tell the young generations to send death. Old Taoist priest seems to be getting angrier and angrier as he sang. Stretched out 2 withered fingers and pointed uncontrollably towards the ground. How's it going, Thomas? Thoughts, translation looks brain melting. Yeah, it's definitely a little broken, but I mean, it probably was hard to translate to begin with, but I actually enjoy it. The story's been pretty interesting. Let's see. Hawk had now come up from the hound of the old Taoist priest and was about to ask the advice, but then the old Taoist priest began spitting curses at the ground, which was quite puzzling. Turns out he was pointing to 2 crickets, a large and a small one. Both were lying on their backs side by side on the ground, already dead. So he was quoting the dead cricket. The story is great. I didn't expect as much story as I've been getting hit with, but I guess that's got to set up everything for when I get to like the building and everything, the actual cultivation and the raising of stuff. You little worm, how can you still laugh out? Old Taoist do not have the Taoist ability to enlighten you. Even if you have the Taoist, I'm afraid also point can not wake you up. Old Taoist priest did not turn around, still pointing to the ground to promote the weave, shaking his head. Taoist master, the one laughing, is the young one, not the one on the floor. Watching you fight the evil monk is the little girl refreshed on accidental, so I may have to go back to then. Yeah, the tutorial teaching us all that stuff was very story. I mean, it's one of those, it's a tutorial, but it's super story heavy, related one that it teaches you, a little bit, but the story sets up everything. So the tutorial, it teaches you a little bit of what you need to know, but the story sets up all the stuff in there. Let's see. Old Taoist priest heard the words and slowly turned around. He was so old it was impossible to tell how many years he had lived. I thought he might well be the oldest man alive. The Warren laughing on the ground, you laughing behind this old Taoist. It doesn't make any difference. Old Taoist grinned at me in a childlike manner, slightly embarrassed, and just bow in return. I want to borrow a boat to cross the dark river at the bottom of the mountain outside the village. I wonder if you could guide me? New to this place. From the valley? What's your last name? The old Taoist priest stared at me, slowly asked. Come from the deep valley. My surname is, and my last name is Taiwu. Oh, from the valley of the, and your surname Taiwu. The old Taoist priest nodded, lost in concentration for a while, and said, there is only one boat in the village that can cross the river and go out, and it's behind my house. I could have lent it to you if only. When the old Taoist said this, he suddenly became stumped. Having difficulties, master? Ooh, here we go. Let's see. All right, so that's new. Only that boat earlier, I had an appointment with a village chief to promote cricket duels. Oh, the cricket duels again. I want to see some cricket duels. I want to know about this. I lost my jade tail to this dumb thing, so I had to give him the boat. Well, now, I want to ask the worldly fairy to help me fight him again. But it has become lazy and has asked its unpleasant insects and grandchildren to give me a hard time. So, there's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. The old Taoist priest was done talking to me and went to see the cricket lying on the ground. 2 crickets were still not moving, seemingly not alive anymore. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Returning gambling for gambling is never a good idea. Why don't I go beg the village chief to return your boat? Since the boat is now rightfully owned by the village head, I'll go and plead with him. Or if I win back the boat for you, can you lend it to me? Let's go with that one. I mean, I know I can be anything because I chose a neutral thing. But I want to know about this cricket duel. So this sounds like a good way to find out about these cricket duels. I'll win back the boat for you. If I do, can you lend it to me? That's natural. That's natural. If you win it back, I'll give you that boat as well. Good. I'll give it a try. Would you please tell me where the village chief is now? Am I not the village chief? The old Taoist priest said those words aloud, as if the words were both sensible and reasonable. I immediately was confused as to whether the old Taoist had an ulterior motive or whether he was just a fool. This Taoist master, why would you tease this young one? There's no juggling, no juggling. You beat me in the fight, I'll give you the boat. But this worldly fairy of mine is lazy, so it's not appropriate to fight with you right now. Now, you go and pick some wild vegetables for me, and we'll eat them to our heart's content so that the insect will have a better fighting spirit. The old Taoist priest said those words solemnly, so I listened and felt incredulous. It would be easy to doubt his intentions. Just when I wanted to argue with a few words, the 2 crickets, which were previously lying on the ground, actually turned over. One after the other, they got up. I remained speechless for a moment. Okay, I'll go pick some wild vegetables for you, Taoist master. I mumbled back. It was unreal. 1 man and 2 insects. The man was talking to the insects, beating their wings, as if they were all in the middle of a conversation. Taoist waved his hand, and Bill quickly and stopped paying attention. He would now ignore me. For a moment, I remained speechless. All right. Let's go see. Oh, that's right. We gotta get vegetables. Well, I guess that would be food. 24. We got 28 up here. Oh. Oh, wait, that's... I shifted to wood. All right. Ooh, that's not... We'll take there. Came out of the valley. What'd you say to the Taoist monk? Hawk was just leaving the old Taoist's hut when a middle-aged man with an unpleasant face suddenly stepped out from beside the path and began asking questions head on. Exactly. I came out of the valley. I know. I just overheard that. You also wanted to borrow a boat from the Taoist master to cross the dark river at the bottom of the mountain outside the village. But the Taoist master refused and wanted you to go pick wild vegetables. An 8 or 9-year-old boy lying on a low tree by the roadside interrupted Hawk and grabbed the words. Yes, I'm here to borrow a boat, but I haven't yet understood the purpose of the wild vegetables picking part. Geez, is everyone coming out of the village now, you bunch of nosies? A sturdy young man stepped out from behind the hut and went to say the Taoist master's temper is a little eccentric, but he has never been seen to make things difficult for people outside the village. So I think this time, maybe he was just having a moment of fun. After all, if it's just about picking some wild vegetables, I'll take you there later. A sturdy young man came up from behind the hut and then said, so, you were listening in too? This is... I was helping Huiyi's sister repair the fence behind the hut. I was not deliberately eavesdropping. Yeah, I bet you weren't dropping any eaves, Samwise. Taoist Master and I have never really talked to each other. This Hawk just wanted to tease, but the young man's face was red with blushing. No need to be nervous, brother. I was just joking with you. Ooh, that's a cool look. All right, can I get a mask? And you would go back and help me fix the fence. The Taoist master has his own reason. One's voice suddenly came from under the eaves. Oh, now I know why he was back there. Woman's voice suddenly came from under the eaves, not far away. The light under the eaves was dark, and the woman seemed to be wearing a mask, so I couldn't see the woman's face. Young man was called Anui. Blushed even more when he heard the words and turned around and went back to the back of the hut. Oh, great. Stop nagging, Sitsu. Does the Taoist master always make sense? It's the Taoist master justified every time. You're from the valley? You'll get the boat from the Taoist master quickly and take me with you. A middle-aged man walked up to me and said the words in a loud voice. As soon as she heard this, the woman named Sityu Yangyu, well, I'm going to butcher these names. Oof. Let out a long sigh and also turned around and went back inside. Let's see. You have important. Let's go with we'll just go with the even keel. Maybe we can get some information. Even if you have an important matter that needs to go out, why don't you go and ask the Taoist master? You do not know. I am originally a royal family, once saved by the Taoist master, and then stranded here. I have long wanted to go out to find my wealth, with the Taoist master ignoring my request and repeatedly save some strangers back. So that's how it is. The people in let's reset that and try again. So that's how it is. The people in this village are all from the outside. That's it. Don't say any more. Bring me the boat. I've been waiting for years. I can't wait any longer. The fool Niu has gone to the place where there are wild vegetables waiting for you. He has more strength, but the Taoist master refused him to help me build a boat. The village man who called himself Guo Yan said that, then punching and kicking the weeds aside. I wanted to go, no, yeah. Ding ding. Sorry I made you laugh earlier. Wild greens grow best here, so I picked some for you now as amends. Anui said with a red face. His name is not Al. Wait. Oh, so we get relations with. Okay. Let's see. Anui said he was red face, and before they were out of his mouth, he was going to bend down to pick more wild vegetables. Make amends? I was the one who made the joke in the first place. Why do you need to make amends? Is that so? I have been stupid since childhood. Whatever. Whatever I do, it's always wrong, but the people around me suffer, like the stupid thing I did before I was rescued by the Taoist master, which caused a mother and son to suffer. It's really unbearable to look back. What happened before you were rescued? Feel very guilty about this. On that day, I was cutting firewood on the mountain when I happened to see some men in black trapping a mother and son. I came to their rescue. As a result, I missed and killed a man in black. The fellow disciples of the man in black saw. I thought that the black-clothed man's fellow brother saw the tragic death. I think it must have been extremely sad. So that night chased over, originally escorted the mother and son to escape. Woman said that I had attracted enemies, dragging them, told me to do one person, go back and let them take revenge. Oh, he was trying to help, and since he killed one, they were now chasing and got it. Okay. Let's see. I thought I was sorry for the mother and son. I was very guilty, so I went back to die. But those men in black only asked about the whereabouts of the mother and son, but did not kill me. They must have wanted to set me up for injustice and take revenge on me. I kept my mouth shut and was stabbed twice by him. When I woke up again, I realized that I had been saved by the Taoist master and came here. In my opinion, those people in black may not be looking for you to take revenge. You don't need to feel guilty. Let's see. It's not your fault that the matter didn't end well, even though it saved lives in the end. Yeah, in my opinion, because I really don't reading this, those people in the black may not be looking for you to take revenge. You don't need to feel guilty. They were after her the whole time. You helped her, and she just tried to use you to buy more time and to get rid of you. Ooh. All right. Seriously? You're all more knowledgeable than me. I naturally believe you. If it is true that you are not here to seek revenge on me, then this is good. Inoue said, here, signed and sighed, and his brow gradually relaxed, as if he had received a touch of relief inside. Good. Let's not talk about the past. Let's just pick some wild greens. Not bad, not bad. Nearly delayed your business. This place is full of wild vegetables. You just pick them, you can't go wrong. Okay, I also did not know how many wild vegetables Long wanted. Oh, no. I can go and talk to each one and get, and let's see. We'll click on me. Aha. Enemies, faction, adore, children, spouse, sworn siblings, parents, okay. Geez, we're gonna have like a big old treat. Let's see. Detailed? Ah, okay. Oh, collect food. Now, technically, he didn't say how... Can I collect more? So I had 3. Okay, so it takes 1 energy per. So I have a key disorder. Internal breathing -7. Okay. All right. The saying goes, those born in grass and earth, their bodies are soft. Those born in masonry, their bodies are rigid. Those born in miscellaneous, born in miscellaneous. The little boy who had a previous encounter on the short tree besides the road is now lying on the ground. Toward a few small clay pots that emitted a pro-cricket sound, shaking his head and reading an old book. Seemed to have encountered a remote word that he did not recognize. Those born in mixed gravel, their nature is inferior. Yes, yes. He who is born in mixed gravel is inferior in nature. You know this secret sutra? How could you have read this treasure scripture? Little boy jumped to his feet and said nervously, the Cricket Promotion Sutra has been wildly circulated, and my adoptive father had taught me to read it. Bah, you're nonsense. The precious scripture of mine is worth 10 large cities before it will be spread widely. Taoist master told me so. The Taskmaster said perhaps just wants to tell you to learn in advance. I think the book must have a special meaning to you. This is true. The book has its own golden house. The book of learning is worth a lot of money. Yeah, I like that. This is true. The book has its own golden house. The book of learning is worth a lot of money. Oh, we almost got him up. Treasure scripture is not the same as ordinary scripture. This is my parents traded me for it. Even if there is no learning in it, it is still worth a lot of money. The boy puffed up his stomach and said firmly. His mood decreased dramatically. Oh, your parents traded you for scripture? Yes. If this is not a treasured script, why would my parents take me in exchange for it? My parents love cricket, but they were unlucky and lost the house to someone else. That's why they wanted to learn the secrets of the treasured sutra and win the house back. Only later, when the scriptures were exchanged, they didn't come. Instead, they asked the Taoist master to receive me and the treasured sutra here. Oof. Poor kid. Taoist master wants you to get involved in the cricket fighting affair, so he'll win before lending you the boat. If you are willing to worship me as a teacher, to a cricket duel with me, I will teach you a few moves. Treasure scriptures. Only for you to know. How about that? All right, little master, then I'll ask you to teach me a thing or two. Okay. I have 3 small generals here. First, give you as a gift. Since you have entered my discipline, you must know the master's name. I'm called Zhu Jianmo. Zhu held his head high, took what he thought was the air of a master, and handed me 3 small bamboo tubes containing the crickets. It's a lot, master. How admirable. All right, so round wing.